phase of government service delivery. For this session, we have eminent speakers with us in the hall. I request as a first speaker, Mr. Muktesh Pardeshi, Joint Secretary and Chief Passport Officer, Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India, to please join us on stage. I request Mr. Vipul Ujjwal, Commissioner, Moga Municipal Corporation on mobile app, who will be talking on mobile app on locating public toilets in cities. I request Mr. Vipul Ujjwal to please join us on stage. I request Mr. N.V. Patel, Chairman of Vadodara Urban Development Authority, please join us. Mr. N.V. Patel. Do we have Dr. Charu Malhotra with us here? Do we have? Okay. I invite Dr. Charu Malhotra, Associate Professor, E-Governance and ICT, Indian Institute of Public Administration, on stage. Welcome, ma'am. And I request now to Mr. Muktesh Pardeshi to please address.
Good afternoon, friends. In the context of smart city, the delivery of public service in urban space is very important. Smart city, as I understand, is not only about infrastructure, roads and transports and in building. Ultimately, it's about community living, and the urban living can be improved once the delivery of public services in that particular urban space is transformed and delivered efficiently. I would like to give the example of Passport Seva project, which has been unveiled in the country during last 4 years, how we have been able to deliver services smartly in Passport Seva Kendras. Because of paucity of time, I will dwell only on the key aspects. I will not go into different technical and managerial aspects of the project. In brief, the Passport Seva project is being done in PPP mode with the Tata Consultancy Services. The project was started in pilot mode in 2010, and within a short span of time, in 2 years, we were able to create a network of 77 Passport Seva Kendras all over India. It's a global, universal and comprehensive project. When I say global, means any passport application submitted anywhere in the world is being done through that system. Whether you apply in Delhi or in Guatemala in Latin America, the same system is available to Indian citizen living whether in India or abroad. It's universal. It's not age specific. A child who is just a 1 day old to somebody who is 100 plus, they can avail of passport services. And it's comprehensive. It's not only about online application, or it's not only about one app. It's not only about one SMS alert. It's for the entire life cycle of a service. From accessing online information to visiting Passport Seva Kendra, and until you get a passport service, the packet arriving at your place, we take care of the entire life cycle of the passport issuance process. So in that context, it's comprehensive. It's, of course, ICT has enabled the delivery of the passport services. We have a centralized database. We have the facility of status tracking. We have a national call center. We have integrated ourselves with each police district in the country. Home Ministry may not be integrated with the police department, the police districts, but the Passport Seva is one of the project where we have linked ourselves electronically with all police districts of the country. We are connected with the immigration. We have gone to the next stage of mobile governance, where people can get updates through SMS and through mobile app. Well, the business model, which the PPP has been quite successful in this area. There are very few examples of PPP mode in service sector. In our country, most of the PPP examples are in, well, infrastructure sector, where a lot of investment is required. But in government service delivery sector, where government service is primarily a statutory service, there are very few examples, and Passport Seva stands out. Though it's in PPP mode, the strategic and the sovereign control of the system and assets is with the government. A lot of government process re-engineering was done. The e-governance is less about IT and more about the governance. I mean, that's my firm belief after 5 years of doing this project. We have segregated entire range of functions into front end and back end. So those functions which are front end, which did not require sovereign decision making, have been earmarked for service provider, and the rest of the functions are retained by the government. Lot of importance to security. When we are talking about smart city, the security will inevitably be important component of our life in today's world. So in case of passport and travel documents, where security has become important, particularly about 9/11, in Passport Seva, a lot of focus has been given on this dimension. A few years back, you were not required to visit a Passport Seva Kendra. The government did not know a citizen. Identity was based on application and a photograph, and many times these photographs were interchanged for malified regions. Now we require each and every citizen to be present. It's not inconvenience for citizen. Government is giving time to see him. The government is seeing him. Earlier system, the government didn't have time for citizen. So when we are meeting citizen in a Passport Seva Kendra, we are earmarking quality time and we are welcoming him so that the decisions are taken in front of him. So the whole paradigm of governance had changed. Change management. No smart thing can happen unless we change. We may have a beautiful city with all the nice concrete infrastructure, but do you think that living will become easier? Unless we change ourselves to live smartly, smart city concept will not be realized. So in the context of the government sector, unless we change, unless rules, regulations, the way we function are changed, e-governance cannot bear fruits. In case of Passport Seva project, a lot of emphasis was given on change management, and stakeholders range from applicants, citizens, to government staff, to media. In the beginning, when we started the concept of compulsory visit, there were a lot of protests. The citizen didn't like, because earlier they could pay some amount to travel agent who can go and represent him. In the new system, they have to make that journey to Passport Seva Kendra. People did not like. But through persuasions, through public dissemination of information, public education, we were able to convince. In 2 years' time, now there is not a murmur why they should not visit a Passport Seva Kendra in person. This was possible. Change management of the government staff was possible through training program, through special incentive scheme, through awards and stakeholder consultations. We believed in consensus building and a building of coalition. We worked with like-minded group, like-minded people, and came to the stage where changes became easier to adapt. Lastly, it also became successful because we implemented it swiftly. From pilot to the final rollout, which involved creation of DC and DRC, creating application, creating 77 Passport Seva Kendra, all were compressed in 24 months. No government project in the country was done at this speed and swiftness. So since we were able to deliver completely the project to the country within a short span of 24 months, the impact was immense. So the point I am making is, if the project goes on dragging, the people will lose interest. So at some point of time, the swift and innovative and dynamic implementation, we have not stuck to what RFP said. RFP has been dynamically interpreted in the context of designing of smart cities and implementation of the smart city project, especially with respect to delivery of government services in modern urban space. Thank you.
Mr. Pardesi has to leave because he has a meeting. So, thank you very much, sir, for your views and sharing the success of passport services in India. A round of applause for Mr. Pardesi, please, once again. And now I invite Mr. N.V. Patel, Chairman of Vadodara Urban Development Authority, to please address. A round of applause for our guest from Gujarat, Mr. Patel.
Dear friends, faculty on the dais and all the smart people in front of me, lots of faculty members spoke about the smartness and the smart cities and all related problems. There are various definitions which, when I was referring to, everyone had his own definition for the smart cities and the smart services to be provided by the government. But to me, it appears that we in our country, India, we are lagging behind by almost 10 to 15 years compared to the other countries in the world as far as the smart city developments are concerned. When I was a mayor of Vadodara, I visited Malaysia, and Malaysian government, I am talking about 11 years ago, they were newly developing a city, totally a smart city, with huge storing capacity for each and every individual, and all the service integrated related with the city and the government directly to be online, everything digital. And we, after Narendra Modi came here, we are now thinking about 100 smart cities in our country. I think we in our country are lagging behind on so many fronts. And I will give you one example. China, when we got independent, China also almost simultaneously they got independent. Our economy was far more booming than that of the China. We had far more better education system and English-speaking people than that of China. Our agriculture was also better than that of China. Industrial production was also higher than China. And where we are today, we are lagging behind. Their foreign exchange reserve is almost 10 times more than that of ours. Their export is almost 10 times more than that of ours. And we are lagging behind on all the fronts. And I was talking with Charu that most of our service sector is all related with non-productive activity. If we take the example, not to politicize, but the yesterday's judgment about a terrorist, it took 22 years to deliver a judgment. And all the exercises and huge input of energy of so many people, they were all applied behind such a small activity. Now it's time for all of us to awake, arise, and make up for the time that we have lost. As far as the smartness in a city is concerned, there are so many things which are involved. According to me, there are 4 important things which we should think of. One is telecommunication network, which will act as a nervous system like that is in our body. Then there should be a brain also. Ubiquitously embedded intelligence has to be there, which should act as a brain of the entire system. And there should be so many sensors. Sensors means if at all we talk about the environment, then sensors for that. If you talk about the traffic, then there should be CCTV cameras. If we talk about the safety, then also so many things. If at all we talk about the bank safety or the e-banking, then there should be sensors at everywhere. Even the water meters and the electrical meters, they are all digitalized and to be sensed from a remote distance. One has not to go to each and every house to take the reading. I was in Israel when I was a mayor. There, even the water meters were each and every 10, 15-story building. That man has not to go to any building, any room. A van travels through the road. He takes one by one all the digital reading of all the meters. They are placed in that building. This type of sensors and devices has to be installed, which will act as a sensors and tags. We in our body, we have 5 senses. Same way, this type of sensors will give you the inputs. And then last but not the least, it is the software, which will be a knowledge and cognitive component of the entire system. These 4 things together, and along with that technology support, it is not only the digitalization, but rightly I was talking to Charu, ICT, she is a professor of ICT. It is the information and communication technology, but it should be having so many other things along with it. We were listening to the GIS system, which they were talking about, and one gentleman raised a question about it, that there is a problem of integration of those real record and the GIS record. This is a fact. Even in the old days, in a town planning department, one town planning scheme is prepared, another town planning scheme is also prepared, one is executed. Second, when we start executing it, 2 roads will not match. On the drawing they match, but really on the ground they will not match. All such things can be resolved and solved only through GIS system. And now, almost all the cities in Gujarat, they have now, all this surveying is done through GIS. They are compatible with GIS, and town planning scheme are made to match with all those data available. So this GIS system and monitoring of traffic and everything, even all the emergencies, that is a flood. There are so many things. In that case, it is the GIS system along with the GPS and remote sensing and handheld devices, and all those things have to be utilized in order to have a smart feedback to the entire 4 department, which I narrated before. I feel that huge data of each individual must be on record. At present, what is happening right now, we are talking about passport. And for passport, we have to go to so many authorities. But to me, it appears that it's a matter of time. The government has come out with Aadhaar, but Aadhaar is also not a perfect UID. There should be a unit identification card which should cater for each and every activity. At present, we have PAN, we have UID, we have PPF number, we have NPS number, we have Aadhaar, so many things. But at present, now Aadhaar is good compared to so many other things. If you go to the bank, and now Aadhaar is on a platform, digital platform. If you get Aadhaar number of any individual, you will get so many detail of that man and his family and his income and everything. All those things should be integrated with all the activity, not only with the banking, not only with the corporation, municipal corporation, not only with the income tax department, but for his employment, for his provident, everywhere, this type of data has to be integrated. And this type of data storage, state government in India, 21 state government have their own SDCs, state data centers. But let me tell you that only almost 10 are working, others are defunct. To me, it is not only the government who should have their own data, we should encourage the private party also to have such services. And I am glad to know that recently Microsoft have planned similar data centers which will be operational by 2015, and they say that Microsoft has planned hyperscale data centers by the end of 2015. By the end of 2015, very high capacity data centers, which will be, if at all any government wants to utilize it, then that can be integrated with it. All this, though Union government have spared 7,000 crore rupees for 100 cities, they are nothing but peanut, let me tell you very frankly. Only with this 7,000 crore rupees, we cannot make 100 cities smart. But this is just a humble beginning. To me, it appears that so many private players has to be brought in. They also should become partner in investment. Some of the activities has to be carried out by them. And all these data, because every individual will have their own data. And those data, safety is also very important. Security is also very important. And this should not be passed out to unauthorized people so that they can be misused and the citizens are put to inconvenience. And that's why, to me, there are so many standards available. Those standards, ISO 27018 and 27001, if at all they are made compulsory to all those service providers, I think people in our country will be safer. They will not have problems of safety. I feel that all these have to be integrated on cloud platform. Without cloud, perhaps the entire system will not work. Huge data collection, integration of so many websites, and ultimately providing efficient services to the citizens. Cloud is a must and should be available to each and every city of our country. Another thing I would like to bring to your kind notice is that all the smartness of all the cities will not be similar and may not be similar, because each city has its own character. One city may be having all chemical industries, the entire economic will depend upon the chemical activity. Another industry in Bangalore will be mostly perhaps information technology. Each city will have their own priority of creating their websites and giving the priority to the activity which those people of that city needs the most. So that also one has to utilize their own, apply their own mind and decide about the priority, because everything you cannot do simultaneously within overnight. As we are already lagging behind, we have to start with something, and that something will depend upon each and every city, which will have their own specific requirement. Another thing I would like to bring to your kind notice is this Delhi-Bombay corridor. There are new 7 cities which are going to come up. And all these 7 cities, because they are to be new cities, it will be easier for Indian government and the state governments, perhaps there are so many states through that corridor, industrial corridor is going to pass. And there it is going to be easier, and the industrial activity, make in India activity perhaps will be faster and easier to grow in this area. Some speaker before I came over here, they stressed that urbanization is going at a very fast rate. This is a fact. But still India today is having 31% urbanization. India on an average have 31% urbanization. Gujarat is having 42% today, and it very fast going to be 50% there. There are so many other cities which my previous speaker talked about. And the GDP, 70% of the GDP comes from the city, and 30% from the villages where 70% population is residing. So this smart cities concept and implementation will enable the economic growth to move at a very faster rate. At present, though our union government, they are thinking that 8.5% GDP may be available this year, perhaps double-digit growth will be very easily available if at all we start implementing only 25% of smartness, depending upon the requirement of a specific city. Perhaps GDP growth will be very fast, which no one might have imagined. The most important thing, the last point I would like to mention to you is the people's participation. In our country, we say it's a country of youth because youth in the range of 18 to 45% years of age is almost 60% in our country compared to the very low percentage in the other countries. And the mobile population at present in our country is 80 crore mobile. And within 2 years, it is expected that it will touch 120 crore. And this mobile application, all these services related applications will be mobile based. Nobody would like to go to the bank to withdraw the money or to make the payment or deposit the money. No one will go to the bank. And Bill Gates once told that banking will exist, but banks will not. And all those bricks and mortar buildings which are there will be useless for any banking. You know Amazon, making thousands of crores of rupees business, they are now entering into payment banking without any building. They don't have any building or any center from where they will be operating. But still they will be one of the biggest banker. So one has to realize that what is going to be the activity tomorrow. When digitalization will be fully in operation, and the new generation, which is mobile savvy, perhaps will take care of the rest, and people's participation is a must. It should be interactive. People, their problems, they should easily communicate to the authority, maybe government or the local government, and address and get those problems addressed through those body. And this type of interaction will be very much necessary. Without that, smart cities concept will not work. Another thing, this smartness or the smart city concept, you cannot say, okay, if I will do this much, it is over. It is an endless process. There is no end to it, because development and innovations is at a faster rate, and what is good today may not be good tomorrow. Something better is available, and perhaps when we work for a smart city, we will have to keep our mind open, and we ensure that each citizen, each one staying in the city, whatever is their level of education, whatever is the level of skill, each and every one must get employment. This should be the goal of this type of smart cities. Then only the purpose is served, and India will become an economic giant. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing with us your big experience and a very inspirational address. Thank you once again. Now, just to tell you that we are having not more than 20 minutes left with us to finish with this session. So for next two speakers, I'll request to keep in 10 minutes, and sorry for the inconvenience. But we have two very interesting presentations now. And the first one from that is from Mr. Vipul Ujwal, Commissioner of Moga Municipal Corporation, having a very interesting presentation on mobile app on locating public toilets in cities. Let's see what he has to say. Thank you. Please welcome Mr. Ujwal. Respected eminent speakers, friends.
Okay. मुझे ज़्यादा like कुछ थोड़े दिनों पहले ही मैं उस तरफ बैठा होता था, सेमिनार सुनता होता था. This is my first time they had asked me to speak. So yeah, I really a little naive about all this. Respected eminent speakers and friends, I'm a Commissioner Municipal Corporation from Moga, Punjab. All that can be said about smart cities. जब आप लेट बोलते हो तो आपके पॉइंट्स खत्म हो जाते हैं. सो बोला जा चुका है. जस्ट ड्राइव यू थ्रू हाउ एज अ फील्ड ऑफिसर we try to solve problems. I'll just tell you my story. PPTs are like just the way to keep people awake, but I don't think now it's too late. I got 10 minutes only, right? So what we are offering is a Swachh Bharat toilet locator. स्वच्छ भारत मिशन के जो मेजर दो कंपोनेंट हैं, एक टॉयलेट कंपोनेंट है और एक म्यूनिसिपल सॉलिड वेस्ट कंपोनेंट है. टॉयलेट कंपोनेंट में 3 पार्ट हैं: इंडिविजुअल हाउस होल्ड टॉयलेट्स, कम्युनिटी टॉयलेट्स एंड पब्लिक टॉयलेट्स. सो आई वाज कमिश्नर एंड वी वर थिंकिंग अबाउट डूइंग समथिंग कि हम कुछ अच्छे से करें, इन तीनों चारों पिलर्स के ऊपर कुछ अच्छे से काम करें. जनवरी में वी वर लिंक अर्लियर वी मेड एन मोबाइल ऐप. आई वोट फॉर इलेक्शन कमीशन ऑफ इंडिया. सो लकीली we were lucky enough कि उन्होंने हमारे को नेशनल अवार्ड दिया इलेक्शन कमीशन ने, और we were here in Delhi to receive that award for electoral best practices. So the app was in our mind. We were talking, and me and my wife is also an IAS. We both are in Punjab. So we were at CP actually, and we were trying to locate a public toilet. And it was not there. We asked some people कि आसपास कुछ है क्या, but nobody was like had any clue. So then we thought कि when we have Zomato, which can really, Google can give you anything. Google can tell you about banks, ATMs, restaurants, hotels, everything they tell you, but they don't tell you about what is the nearest public toilet. So we were like baffled कि like even Google have not thought about it. So let's, being an urban administrator, we thought कि we should do something about this. Just few things I just want to make sure कि एक तो issue क्या है public toilet के साथ. This is a completely urban administrator's perspective. पहला तो supply demand mismatch है. Moga is a 2 lakh plus city. हमारे पास सिर्फ 14 public toilet है. By any means we don't have enough. लैक ऑफ विजिबिलिटी जो है ऐसे कोने में छुपा के बनाते हैं, गंदे से होते हैं कि हम उनको ओन ही नहीं करना चाहते, बताने नहीं चाहते कि यहाँ पे पब्लिक टॉयलेट है. कोई मार्क नहीं लगाते, कुछ नहीं लगाते. मतलब अगर आप बहुत शार्प आइड हो तो ढूंढ लोगे, अदरवाइज आप ढूंढ ही नहीं सकते. जो है उनमें एडिक्वेट इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर नहीं है. वेंडलिज्म इज द मेन रीजन. हम पीतल की टोंटी लगाने का नहीं सोच सकते, प्लास्टिक की टोंटी भी लोग ले जाते हैं, मोटरें चोरी हो जाती हैं, यू जस्ट नेम इट, ऑल काइंड ऑफ वेंडलिज्म इज देयर. सारे पब्लिक टॉयलेट जब बनाए जाते हैं बहुत बढ़िया कंडीशन में बनाए जाते हैं, हम बहुत मेहनत करते हैं, बहुत अच्छे से पैसा लगाते हैं, सफ़ेद टाइल, बढ़िया से बढ़िया सेरा के फिटिंग्स लगाते हैं, बट वो 2 महीने में सब कुछ, इसमें पान की पीक तोड़ लिया जाता है, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी की फिटिंग निकाल ली जाती है, एवरी पॉसिबल थिंग दैट कैन बी डन टू देम। सो हमारे पास इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर कभी नहीं होता। क्योंकि इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर खराब होता है, थोड़ी देर में पानी बहने लगता है, साफ करना मुश्किल हो जाता है, सून दे आर अ नेग्लेक्टेड चाइल्ड। सो अनहाइजीनिक कंडीशंस। अच्छा, कोई भी कंप्लेंट का मैकेनिज्म नहीं है, आप बोलते रहो, कोई सुनता नहीं है, नो बडी रियली ओन दम। The reason for these issues is mainly that for ULBs, toilets are necessary evil, something they don't want to own, yet they have to. ULBs never take pride in their public toilets. Second and most important thing, Indian women in the public toilets. Lack of knowledge about the location, they don't know. Inability to ask for directions, they just can't ask for the directions. General perception, not clean, unhygienic. No user-friendly and easy complaint mechanism. Ironically, more educated and affluent a woman is, lesser are her chances that even she will even think about using public facilities, leave aside actually using one. Rich and educated people don't use public toilets. That's a fact. Accessible, hygiene and safe toilets are the biggest woman empowerment tool, and the most of the public toilets have man bias. So with this background, we've started to think कि हमारे को कुछ करना चाहिए, and let's the idea evolved कि ना हमारे को GPS लोकेशन निकाल लेनी चाहिए और हम सब चीज़ों को मैप पे पुट करने की कोशिश करनी चाहिए, और एक ऐप होनी चाहिए जो इन चीज़ों की लोकेशन बता दे और आप नियरेस्ट टॉयलेट ढूंढ लें। बट देन जो नेक्स्ट इशू आया वो ये था कि सबसे नज़दीक टॉयलेट ढूंढना इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है, बिकॉज फॉर अ फीमेल शी विल नॉट यूज इट अनलेस until it's not hygienic or clean. So what's the point? Then we evolved our idea saying that हम टॉयलेट्स को रेट भी करवाएंगे। जोमेटो में रेट हो सकता है, हर चीज़ का रेट हो सकता है, तो हम क्यों नहीं करवा सकते रेटिंग? यूज़र से पूछते हैं साफ है कि नहीं है। सो देन वी डेवलप द आइडिया कि रेटिंग करेंगे, इनकी रेटिंग करके कलर कोडेड कर लेंगे। लाल का मतलब 2 से कम रेटिंग है, 2 से 3.5 के बीच में आया तो येलो हो जाएगा, 3.5 से 5 विल पुट इट अ ग्रीन। सो यू कैन आइडेंटिफाई नियरेस्ट ग्रीन मार्क एंड यू कैन गो देयर। अच्छा, बट देन देयर इज अ प्रॉब्लम फॉर एन पर्सपेक्टिव ऑन एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर कि एक रेटिंग से मुझे पता नहीं लगेगा। सो वी फर्दर डिस्कस्ड एंड हमने इस एक रेटिंग को 3 रेटिंग्स में तोड़ा। तो 3 रेटिंग्स वर, फर्स्ट इज इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, सेकंड इज मतलब हमारे पास सामान है कि नहीं है, सेकंड इज हाइजीन, सब कुछ ठीक लगा हुआ है पर सफाई है कि नहीं है, एंड थर्ड इज विमेन स्पेसिफिक, दैट इज सेफ्टी। सब कुछ लगा हुआ है, सफाई भी अच्छी है, बट डू आवर फीमेल सिटीजन फील सेफ यूजिंग दैट पब्लिक टॉयलेट और नॉट। और इन तीनों इंडेक्सेस का एक एग्रीगेट इंडेक्सेस थी जिसको हमने बाद में कलर कोड करके शो करने की कोशिश की। तो दैट वाज द सेकंड थॉट विच वी ट्राई टू इम्प्लीमेंट। देन द आइडिया केम कि कंप्लेंट कैसे करेंगे, मान लो टॉयलेट खराब है तो क्या करेंगे। देन अर्लियर हमने हमारी ऐप बनाने में कोशिश की कि एक अलग से फीडबैक मैकेनिज्म रखा जिसमें आप बाकायदा जाके कंप्लेंट लिख सकते हो कि जी यहाँ पे टोंटी नहीं है, सफाई नहीं है। बट देन यू नो व्हेन एवर आई ट्रैवल, तो जैसे मैं दिल्ली आता हूँ तो आई टेक ए ऑटो, या मैं जैसे कहीं रेस्टोरेंट में जाता हूँ तो आई ट्राई टू टॉक टू पीपल। वैसे ही मुझे धीरे धीरे रियलाइज हुआ कि वेन एवर यू कंप्लेन पर्सनली देन यू इन्वेस्ट लॉट ऑफ योर ईगो इन टू दैट, एंड इफ योर कंप्लेंट इज नॉट रिड्रेस्ड you are so disheartened that you really don't want to complain anymore कि भाड़ में जाए दुनिया, मुझे नहीं करनी complain. So we have to identify some way by which your grievances are identified in an impersonal manner so that we can take them as a constructive feedback and we can improve our condition. So what we try to do, हमने ये माना कि जब आप किसी 5 की रेटिंग पे किसी टॉयलेट को 1 की रेटिंग दे रहे हो तो आप एक्चुअली एक ग्रीवांस ही बता रहे हो कि यार साफ नहीं है तुम्हारा। So why can't we take this as a grievance? So जितने भी टॉयलेट्स हमने मैप करवाने की सोची, उनके ईमेल आईडी जिस भी अर्बन लोकल बॉडी के वो टॉयलेट्स थे, हमने सोचा जब भी रेटिंग डिप होंगी वी विल कम्युनिकेट टू देम कि पर्टिकुलर इंडाइसेस पे या ओवरऑल यू आर गोइंग डाउन। सो एक फीडबैक मैकेनिज्म लूप क्रिएट किया विद द अर्बन लोकल बॉडी सो दैट आपकी जो मेंटेनेंस और हाइजीन और जो सेफ्टी एस्पेक्ट्स हैं वो प्रॉपरली मेंटेन हो सके। Further, the idea we tried to evolve was कि then when you want to search a toilet, then certain things you really want to search, but you don't know पास वाला toilet देखना, लेकिन you need a western seat. You have joint pain, you don't want to go to an Indian seat, so we started to identify the filters. Indian seat हो सकती है, western seat हो सकती है, paid हो सकता है, free हो सकता है। आप 3 स्टार प्लस ढूंढ रहे हो, 4 स्टार प्लस ढूंढ रहे हो, आप disabled friendly ढूंढ रहे हो, So then we started other aspects of it कि हम उनको भी कैप्चर करें, ताकि अगर आप जब ढूंढना चाहें तो आप अपने हिसाब से अपना टॉयलेट ढूंढ सकें. फर्दर मोर, जब हमने इस पूरे सिस्टम को इवॉल्व कर रहे थे, फर्स्ट थिंग आई रियली वांट टू टेल यू कि दिस इज अ प्रोसेस इन वर्क, और हम अभी इस पे काम कर रहे हैं. इट्स अबाउट टू बी लॉन्च्ड बाय मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ अर्बन डेवलपमेंट. वी आर इन डाटा कलेक्शन फेज. Hopefully we'll collect around 50,000 plus 60,000 plus public toilets, and then we'll have a national launch. So, and it is completely done on CSR. हमने एक भी पैसा सरकार से नहीं लिया है. Me, I have few friends. Some are in advertising agency. One is a developer. हमने आपस में बैठे, हमने decide किया, because गवर्नमेंट के अंदर आपको कोई भी चीज़ करवानी हो, L1 से आपकी फ्रीक्वेंसी मैच करे ना करे, you really don't know. When you are going for innovation, something new, आप अपने ट्राइड एंड टेस्टेड जो दोस्त है उसके साथ काम करना चाहोगे, अब वो L1 नहीं हो सकता. सो वी सेड कि हमें जाना ही नहीं है, टेंडरिंग ही नहीं करनी है, हम इधर उधर से डोनेशन लेंगे, मांगेंगे पैसा, बट वी विल गेट इट डन. एंड देन वी टुक आवर दिस आइडिया टू अर्बन डेवलपमेंट मिनिस्ट्री, एंड जॉइंट सेक्रेटरी हैं प्रवीण प्रकाश सर, बहुत अच्छे ऑफिसर हैं. हम गए उनके पास और हमने एक PPT बनाई. हमने सर को कहा कि भाई सर दिखानी है PPT. अब तो हमने लैपटॉप खोला, कहते हैं कि यार तुम क्या हो, तुम कोई कॉर्पोरेट से आए हो जो मुझे PPT दिखा रहे हो. मैंने कहा नहीं, तो बताओ आइडिया क्या है. वी डिटेल द आइडिया इन 5 minutes कि सर ऐसे ऐसे करना चाहते हैं. ही सेड गो अहेड, डू इट. उन्होंने कहा कोई मैं तुम्हें कंसल्टेंट बताऊं जिसके थ्रू करवाना है या खुद करना चाहते हो. हमने कहा खुद करना चाहते हैं, बिकॉज दैट्स द लर्निंग प्रोसेस. यू नो, अनलेस एंड वी डोंट लर्न हाउ वी विल डू, समवन विल गो अप एंड विल स्टार्ट मेकिंग पॉलिसीज. वी वोंट बी डूइंग, वी विल बी डूइंग वेरी बैड. So we started working this. So in this, फिर हमारे पास डेटा वेरासिटी की प्रॉब्लम आई. जब हम ये ऐप बना रहे थे तो हमें ये रियलाइज़ हुआ क्राउड सोर्सिंग डेटा करवाना था हमारे को. पर क्राउड सोर्सिंग में प्रॉब्लम ये है कि people can actually put pranks, people can actually put wrong toilets on map, and a commoner when he will go to the particular location he won't find a toilet, and then there will be a heartburn. So then we went ahead again कि what to do, how to clean the data. So we made another app, that is the verifier module या admin module, that is a separate app. So we decided कि जो crowd source से जितने भी data हो गए हम उनके display के अंदर, I'll show you. This is the app just for like toilet locator, Swachh Bharat toilet locator. This is the front screen, male और female. आप जैसे भी, क्योंकि जेंडर स्पेसिफिक सर्च है हमारी, सो आप सर्च कर सकते हैं. यू कैन सर्च एनीवेयर. लाइक अगर आप आसपास में ढूंढना है तो आप मेल या फीमेल को आइकन को टच करेंगे. अगर आप कहीं और ढूंढना चाहते हैं, जैसे कि मैं मोगा बैठ के दिल्ली के टॉयलेट्स देखना चाहूँ, तो आई कैन सर्च एनीवेयर. नीचे एक सबमिट का मॉड्यूल है, ये टॉयलेट सबमिट करने के लिए है. मैंने आपको कलर कोडिंग बताई थी, ये कलर कोडिंग है. द येलो इज द एवरेज वन एंड द ग्रीन वाज लाइक 5 स्टार. दीज आर ऑल डमी डेटा. अभी हम डेटा कलेक्शन कर रहे हैं, एज आई टोल्ड यू बिफोर. These are the filters which we were talking about. You can use filters. There are many more. This is the kind of the screen you will have. If you see, अब यहाँ पे verified लिखा हुआ है. Verified का मतलब ये है कि ये हमारे administrator किसी ऐप से किसी बंदे ने यूजर के द्वारा सबमिट टॉयलेट को ऑन फुट जाके वेरीफाई किया है और हमारी एडमिन ऐप से उसको वेरीफाई किया है. अदरवाइज यू विल सी अनवेरीफाइड, नॉन वेरीफाइड लिखा हुआ यहाँ पे कि ये किसी का यूजर सबमिट है, एंड वी रियली डोंट have that idea कि ये सही है कि गलत है. So not only we will crowdsource the data, but we will ensure कि that every toilet has to be verified through some government agency or some volunteers. Information is there. आपके 3 indices देख रहे हैं आप, hygiene, infrastructure, safety की, seat type, paid or not, and everything. This will the direction, हम Google Map के through directions दिखाएंगे आपको. These are the feedback. आप अपनी ratings दे सकते हैं, आप अपनी complaint लिख सकते हैं, आप नहीं अपनी photo दे सकते हैं. दिस इज द सबमिट टॉयलेट स्क्रीन. अगर आप देखेंगे तो इसमें हम 3 ऑप्शन है, मेल फीमेल या बोथ का. सिटी लोकेशन और एड्रेस के 3 फील्ड्स हैं. फिर नीचे रेटिंग्स हैं. इंटरेस्टिंगली हमने पंजाब के अंदर डाटा कलेक्ट करवाया सैनिटरी इंस्पेक्टर से. 600 टॉयलेट कलेक्ट करवाया जस्ट टू सी, टू बीटा टेस्ट इट कि डेटा कलेक्ट करना कितना आसान है गवर्नमेंट ऑफिशियल के लिए. हमें पता चला बहुत प्रॉब्लम आ रही है उनको. लोग सिटी की स्पेलिंग गलत लिख रहे हैं, लोग फील्ड मिस कर जाते हैं. हमने पहले ये ब्लैंक रखे थे, हमने कहा था आप भर दो. वी रियलाइज कि नहीं, वो नहीं भर पा रहे हैं, सब गलत सलत भर रहे हैं. सो वी देन वेंट टू द बोर्ड अगेन, ड्राइंग बोर्ड. हमने कहा कि डेटा ऑटोमेटिक फैच होना चाहिए. अब सिटी लोकेशन और एड्रेस का डेटा ऑटोमेटिक फैच होता है. अगर आप बदलना चाहें तो बदल सकते हैं, बट एवरेज रेटिंग हमने रख दी कि अगर आपको नहीं चेंज करना है तो आप रेटिंग्स हमारी ले लीजिए। नीचे वाले आप देखेंगे तो हमारे कुछ फिल्टर्स हैं, वेस्टर्न और इंडियन, पेड और फ्री, सैनिटरी पैड डिस्पेंसर एंड डिसेबल्ड फ्रेंडली। यू कैन इवन हैव अ फोटो। वी हैव द ऑप्शन ऑफ ओपनिंग आवर्स ऑल्सो, कि कितने बजे से कितने बजे तक खुलता है, बिकॉज सर्टन मोस्ट ऑफ द पब्लिक टॉयलेट्स रन बाई अर्बन लोकल बॉडीज, अगर वो सुलभ नहीं मैनेज कर रहा है या प्राइवेटली मैनेज नहीं हो रहे हैं तो रात को बंद हो जाते हैं। सो आफ्टर 8 यू वॉन्ट गेट दैट। सो वी हैड पुट दैट आइडिया कि इसमें ओपनिंग आवर्स भी होने चाहिए। यूज़र प्रोफाइल हम लोगों को कह रहे हैं कि आप हमारे वॉलंटियर्स बनिए, हम आपके देखेंगे कि कितने टॉयलेट्स आपने सबमिट किए हैं। विल फाइंड आउट सम बैच सिस्टम जिसके अंदर हम आप एक्नॉलेज करेंगे विजुअली कि आपने अच्छा काम किया है, समथिंग लाइक दैट। दिस इज आवर वेरीफायर मॉड्यूल। दिस इज एन अनवेरीफाइड, रेड कलर का जो आपको मार्क दिख रहा है वो एक अनवेरीफाइड यूजर सबमिटेड टॉयलेट है, जिसको वेरीफायर ऐप में अगर आप खोलेंगे तो इस तरह से दिखाई देगा। आप इसको नेविगेट कर सकते हैं, उसके बाद उसको वेरीफाई कर सकते हैं या फ्लैग कर सकते हैं। फ्लैग करने से वो हमारे डेटाबेस से हट जाएगा। Okay, so this is what the basic app is about. Now this is first phase. हम अभी app हमारी बन चुकी है, but that is without data, because unless until there is no data we can't launch it. So in first phase what we are trying to do is हम हमारी verifier app को Ministry of Urban Development has graciously acknowledged कि हम इसको national level पे launch करना चाहते हैं, और उन्होंने हमारे को time दिया है for a month। हमारे को at least 50,000 toilets इसको throughout India में with the help of MOD हमें मैप करने हैं। आफ्टर दैट विल गो फॉर अ नेशनल लॉन्च जब हमारी यूज़र ऐप अवेलेबल होगी। वैसे यूज़र ऐप अभी भी अवेलेबल है पर गूगल प्ले स्टोर पे ब्लैंक है। सेकेंड फेज में विल गो फॉर पेट्रोल पंप्स, सारे पेट्रोल पंप मैप करेंगे जहाँ पे भी पब्लिक टॉयलेट्स है। एंड इंटरेस्टिंगली इन थर्ड फेज व्हाट वी आर ऑफरिंग एंड वी आर आस्किंग मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ अर्बन डेवलपमेंट टू हेल्प अस। सी प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि सारा काम सरकार का होता है। रोड साफ करनी है सरकार करेगी, टॉयलेट साफ करना है सरकार करेगी, डंप साफ, हर काम सरकार करेगी। आम आदमी, टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट, सरकार से रिलेटेड कोई भी काम है तो आदमी करना ही नहीं चाहता, वो कहता है आप ही कर दो सारा कुछ। वी आर लिविंग इन सच ए पैराडॉक्सिकल सोसाइटी कि जहां पे हमारी क्यूमुलेटिव जॉइंट एक्सपेक्टेशन एज ए सोसाइटी आर डिफरेंट एंड इंडिविजुअल एक्सपेक्टेशंस आर डिफरेंट, दे आर टेंजेंशियली अपोजिट। एग्जाम्पल, एज ए सोसाइटी हम कहते हैं क्यों लगनी चाहिए। हाँ, आप पूछो किसी से क्यों लगनी चाहिए, बिल्कुल लगनी चाहिए। स्वच्छ भारत में हम सबको मिलकर सफाई करनी चाहिए, हम बिल्कुल करनी चाहिए। पर इंडिविजुअल से पूछो अगर अकेले से, यार तुम क्यों में लगना चाहोगे, नहीं नहीं मैं, मुझे स्पेशल ट्रीटमेंट मिले, मैं अंदर जाऊँ, मेरी जान पहचान हो, मैं हाथ मिलाऊं, मेरा काम पहले हो जाए, क्यों वाले बैठे रहे, मैं क्यों सफाई करूँ। सो नाउ वी आर ग्रैपलिंग विद दिस इशू कि एज ए सोसाइटी दे आस्क अस समथिंग डिफरेंट एंड एज ए इंडिविजुअल दे डू एंटायरली डिफरेंट। People are not paying 60 rupees for municipal solid waste collection. So we are grappling with these issues, we are fighting with these issues, and trust me, urban management is not at all rosy. I fought 2 months to put a biometrics attendance system. My clerical union were up against arm कि हम नहीं लगाना। मैं खत्म कर रहा हूँ दोस्त, wrap up. This is the reality of urban management. We are talking about smart cities. 2 फुट का एनक्रोचमेंट हटाने पे आपको 10 MC फोन कर देते हैं। वी आर थिंकिंग ऑफ पुटिंग सेंसर्स। मैं मेरे सीवरमैन को सूट नहीं पहना सकता अंदर जाने के लिए, ये कहते हुए कि भाई तुम्हारी जान चली जाएगी। कहते हैं नहीं जी मेरे को अनकंफर्टेबल है, मैं नहीं पहनता। यूनिफॉर्म नहीं पहन रहे हैं लोग। सो समहाउ आई थिंक देयर इज अ कंप्लीट डिस्कनेक्ट दैट आई वांट टू फ्लैग। ऑल द पीपल, गुड पीपल आर सिटिंग हियर टॉकिंग बिग थिंग्स। आई रियली अप्रिशिएट, सब कुछ अच्छा हो यार, मुझे भी अच्छा लगता है कि मेरी सिटी अच्छे से चले, बट दीज आर द रियलिटीज। स्वीपर यूनियन के साथ आई डोंट नो हाउ मेनी हैव टैकल्ड, इट इज वन ऑफ द टफेस्ट यूनियन यू हैव टू बैटल। सो बट देन विद दिस थॉट आई से कि थर्ड फेज क्या है हमारी। थर्ड फेज ये है कि पब्लिक टॉयलेट्स, ओपन डेफिकेशन फ्री नेशन कभी गवर्नमेंट से नहीं बनेगा। As a society, we have to decide कि whether we want to be a civilized society or not, whether as a society we want to be an open defecation free society or not. And if yes, we want to be an open defecation free society, then private players, individuals have to chip in. क्या आपको लगता है कि सीपी में टॉयलेट्स नहीं है? हैं, पब्लिक टॉयलेट्स नहीं है, बट क्या टॉयलेट्स नहीं है? क्या मॉल वाले नहीं दे सकते थोड़ी देर के लिए? क्या KFC वाला फेलो सिटीजन को हम इतनी भी मदद नहीं कर सकते? यार lady in a need, where will she go? So in third phase we are asking the private player to kindly chip in, flag their toilets with us. We will acknowledge you. हम आपका कोई नाम लिख देंगे, आपका मैकडोनल्ड्स लिखेंगे, आपके मार्कर को डिजाइन करवाएंगे, आपको कमर्शियल एस्पेक्ट देने की कोशिश करेंगे, बट you have to come on board with us. अच्छा, we have given them a selective options. I told you कि हमें ना hours दे रहे हैं, opening hours. I say if KFC tells me कि हम सिर्फ दोपहर में 2-3 घंटे हमारा बिजनेस कम होता है, हमें 11 से 2 दे दो यार, सिर्फ फीमेल्स के लिए दे दो. 11 से 2 के बीच में फीमेल सर्च करेगी तो ही आपका टॉयलेट दिखाई देगा डिस्प्ले में, अदरवाइज दिखाई नहीं देगा. Can't we pool our resources? So that is our phase 3, and I have fabulous seniors. I'm just 6 years into the service. I'm like a kid in the service. So all my seniors are very appreciative, बहुत support करते हैं. छोटा सा आइडिया लेके गए, उन्हें हमें नेशनल लॉन्च दे रहे हैं, सारा कुछ हमको करने को दे रहे हैं. I really hope कि these kind of seniors, these kind of illuminaries, बहुत अच्छे eminent लोग, even private players हमारे साथ आएँ. Open defecation free is just a symbol. It's a symbol that how civilized we can be. Can we help a fellow citizen in need? In a basic need. So with that thought, let's hope कि हमारे को एक अच्छी launch मिले, हम 50,000 toilets करें और हमारे को 1 million downloads मिले, and we are doing it free. We are not charging anything. In CSR, I had spent, me and my wife, we have designed it. I had asked my friends, हमने गवर्नमेंट से एक पैसा नहीं लिया है. गवर्नमेंट ने हमें कहा क्या चाहिए, हमने कहा कुछ नहीं चाहिए, आप लॉन्च करवा दीजिए, पूरी इंडिया का डेटा कलेक्ट करवा दीजिए, वी विल मैनेज द सर्वर. अगर हमारे को कोई सर्वर देना चाहे तो हमें दे सकता है. वी वुड बी वेरी हैप्पी. वी आर टेकिंग ऑल काइंड ऑफ डोनेशन टू मेक दिस थिंग रनिंग. एंड दिस लाइमलाइट इज न्यू टू मी. जनरली ना हमें इतना बोलने का और ऐसा मौका नहीं होता. हम तो वी आर द पीपल हु यूज्ड टू सिट देयर एंड लिसन ऑल द गुड आइडियाज. सो थैंक यू वेरी मच to listen. I hope we will make a difference. The idea is to make a difference, and we are trying to do our bit. Thank you. Thank you very much.
मिस्टर उज्जवल के जाबाज और बेबाक इरादों के लिए एक बार फिर से तालियां चाहूँगा. It was one of the very inspirational talk, I would say, from और मैं तो ये कहूँगा सर कि why only companies, कई घर भी ऐसे होते हैं जहाँ बाहर टॉयलेट्स होते हैं, not inside, they can also flag their toilets and
जब है ना torrents पे हम डाउनलोड करते हैं, वैसे तो गलत नहीं करना चाहिए. There's always a saying, sharing is caring. If you care, you have to share. So that is the motto.
right. So thank you very much for your presentation, and we wish you all the best. Before I request Dr. Charu to speak, I have a industry expert for the technology presentation, Mr. Kamal Maheshwari, President of Business Development and Strategy in SL Infra and Utility Business, for a presentation. Sir, I welcome you on stage. Round of applause for a guest from SL.
Okay, good evening, everybody. The first thought which came to my mind was that, oh my God, now my flight timings are approaching, so whether I'll be able to really make it or not. But thanks to the organizer, and also thankfully to Dr. Charu. So this presentation is all about practically what we have done in this space. I have kept it very, very simple. Not much of a theory, कोई ज्ञान नहीं है. It's something what we have done on the ground, and it's a presentation about how possibly it can be extended beyond. And just now we have seen Mr. Ujjwal's initiative, a small idea how it can become big. I think many of the ideas which you see here, possibly if implemented in the right manner, has the potential to change the urban service delivery forever. Before I jump into it, a bit of background of my company will definitely help you. So we are part of SL Group. At time people know us as GTV Group, but actually SL Group is much bigger. GE is just a part of it. This is an infrastructure arm of SL Group where we have created huge business. As a group, we are big across 169 countries and so on and so forth. A lot of businesses around, but the infra and utility business we created 7 years back. And the whole idea was that someday this sector will open up in a big, big way, and that's what we are seeing today. If you look at smart city movement, you know, the word smart utility was registered by us 3 years back. So we knew that something smarter is coming up, and we were smart enough to get this logo also registered in our name. Today, as we speak, we have an order book of $6 billion across core infrastructure, green solution, and integrated utility. I will not get into deeper detail here because there are other slides. Across verticals, we have managed to create a huge business, which is a PPP business worth around 30,000 crore. And today we are de facto one of the leader into this space. This is what we do. What we are saying is, in a city, you have all sort of problems. We have just heard that civic management is not easy. I agree. It's not easy. Because if government manages it, there are obvious challenges of all types. And the beautiful remark which I will appreciate again is that when people try to get service, they think if it is government, government will do everything. My baap hai, sab kuch karenge, without paying for it. But if we evolve a model which is efficient, reasonable, and efficiency of the private sector, maybe many of the challenges can be met. And that's what the whole idea behind this so-called integrated utility. We are saying in a city, we can do power distribution, water distribution, municipal solid waste, city cable and broadband, we have sewage treatment, city gas distribution, drainage, okay, all we are doing in different cities. But we have the capability to do it in one single city. So these are the few of the examples. You have 4 cities where we do power distribution. You can see from Nagpur to Muzaffarpur. I spoke about Muzaffarpur in the morning also. Doesn't matter which city it is, which area of which part of the country it is possible to do good work and deliver the results. In a Muzaffarpur, where 80% of the loss has been reduced to 28%, Nagpur, urban area, 34% has gone to 14%. These are the results which we have demonstrated. Water distribution, same thing. Aurangabad is a good example. It's a PPP model where we are investing 1,200 crore to bring up the entire supply system, including the bulk water, including the WTP, and obviously we will run this for 20 years of concession, and then it is a very, very nominal rate which we will be charging to the consumer, which has been fixed by government only. We are one of the largest in municipal solid waste management. We have got the waste to energy plants at all these locations. There are 6 cities. Then we are into renewable energy. So true to the theme of what is energy management really and what is actually environment management, I'll give you a perspective. When your cities, most of the city areas are losing close to 25% of their energy pumped into the network. While we are talking about building efficiency, while we are talking about all sort of efficiency to be created at different level, we are forgetting that 25% is a big bulk which is just going in the network alone only because there are inefficient networks. And you know the cost of this? It's more than 1.25 lakh crore a year in India every year. Government is paying for it, which ultimately is taxpayers' money. 1.25 lakh crore is a complete waste, and it is creating other environmental problem. You are burning coal to generate electricity and you are simply wasting it in the network. Somebody have to come and fix it. So today, if you look at our story in Nagpur, where we have saved 150 crore rupee for the government every year, if we apply the same model, this 1 lakh crore can be saved. And that 1 lakh crore can do a good amount of work, and we are still talking about smart city being funded by government with only 50,000 crore a one time, which will be spent over 5 years. I'm talking about 1 lakh crore a year, so 5 years, 5 lakh crore. And what is the technology which we have used? Very simple. We have been talking about all of it last many, many years. We have been attending all the events. We say AMR can do it. We are the one who have demonstrated that how it can be done. We have implemented AMI in city like Nagpur. Now we know where the energy is going, where it is getting consumed, how much of it, whether it is at par with the baseline or it has gone haywire. We have also done prepaid and postpaid. I have a lot of slides. Actually, I have compacted it because I knew that in the evening it will be a torture to you now to talk so much. Very, very simple thing. Postpaid, prepaid. If telecom can have it, why not electricity consumer? So we are trying with a simple module which will convert your existing meter into a prepaid meter. And prepaid essentially means people know about their consumption. If they know about their consumption, they try to control their consumption. And also it's much, much better for industry where people generally, if they consume more, paying that becomes a big issue. They come and fight. So many, many problems can be solved with a simple solution of prepaid. This is our social responsibility framework. What we think is that if you can give a solution in the hand of people who knows their consumption, if you have the reports as to how much energy is getting consumed into which part of the city and how, you can do a lot more. So we talked about, Mr. Patel talked about availability of data. Here's a true example. If the data, see, as a power distribution company, we have almost every data. We know every consumer. We know how much they are consuming. And we know which locality is consuming how much your water pumps are consuming, how much your hospitals are consuming. So consumption of energy, the complete data is available, and it's a public data in a way, can be used. So when we talk about energy efficiency, we don't really need to go far off and really need to talk about so much of complicated technology. It's right there in the hand of distribution companies, which we have demonstrated. And this can lead to many, many initiatives. What we have also done in case of Nagpur, for example, is that in areas where the consumption is higher, we go and find out what is the region, what is the per capita consumption there, and then have done the CSR activity like distributing the CFL and all. I'll quickly move on. I'll not spend much time on it. Everybody knows about this. Solid waste management is a critical issue. So the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, if it has to scale up, if it has to be very sustainable, you need a processing system behind. I keep on saying that you can sweep the street 1 day, 2 days, you can have the photograph there, but unless you have a system in place, you cannot really make Swachh Bharat. And that's what some of our examples will come handy. So this type of plants which we have done, we are creating compost out of it, RDF out of it, and then there is an energy plant which we are creating, which will convert the MSW into energy. In a state, for example, if in any typical state you have 10 or 12,000 megawatt of energy getting supplied, you feed in another, let's say 100 megawatt from 10 of your cities and put the cost as a social cost, and you see it is 0.0001 paise maybe. While your cities has got excellent processing system and all of your kachra can go there, get converted into something more usable. This is how the plant works. I'll not again spend much time. It's an environment-friendly way of disposing of the municipal solid waste. It's a proven technology, and what we have done from our side is that we knew that European technology cannot work in India as it is, neither the Japanese one, nor from any other place. What we did was we had worked with the partners, Indianized these solutions. So 80% of the solution is now coming from Indian manufacturers, getting assembled in a manner which is making it work. So today the cost has come down. Today we have a solution which is world class. Today it can do something what we always desired, what we always wanted at a reasonable cost. This is how it all works. So there is a complete filtering system which converts. First you are burning the municipal solid waste, and then whatever fumes which are coming out, you filter them out. It's all environmental friendly way, and all the European standards are being met by this plant. So technology is suitable to India. We have worked in a manner whereby as a corporate, of course, we have to put up the plant on PPP model. So once we invest into it, we need to make money out of it. We have to see that plant works. We have done our bit to make it more suitable, and the results are now in front of us. Similarly, we are in renewable energy. I will not spend much time. We have taken a target of 12,000 megawatt of renewable energy, which we are going to create, solar as well as wind. So with this, thank you very much for your patience, and thank you once again to the dignitaries on the dais as well as the organizers, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Maheshwari. Now, after a very informative address and presentation about infrastructure, especially by a very large group, SL, now I request from academics perspective, an address by Dr. Charu Malhotra, Associate Professor for E-Governance and ICT in Indian Institute of Public Administration. A round of applause for Dr. Charu, please. You are welcome.
Namaskar, all of you. Good evening. Bozu, if I could say. It's a tough call for me because I'm expected to have a final word being from academics. I'm supposed to kind of wrap up this session and also link it with the subsequent one, which was given as a technology presentation. While we were giving this presentation and listening to it, I realized that Patel Saab is constantly referring to me, and now I'll refer back to him. Because for the simple reason, I'm very sure everything is a divine coincidence. Whatever I wanted to say, he said it faster than me, and maybe because he has a wonderful experience. मैं कह रही थी कोई data cable थोड़ी थी आपके दिमाग से मेरे दिमाग में कि आपने मेरी PPT देख ली. Anyway, and subsequently whatever Maheshwari ji just said, I'm just going to wrap it up to make it more digestible for all of us. Being an academics, the job is to be constantly critical and evaluator. Though I'm from technology, I mean, with the kind of background I have, people expect me to keep rambling about big data, data analytics, knowledge management, artificial intelligence, but today I chose to be a little different. I asked my researcher to kind of look at all the definitions of smart cities which are available so that we know, are we on the right track in terms of Indian context. I wanted to see what are the components which are being cited and which are the ones we've missed. And I picked up the most relevant definition which I found by my presumption of today's talk, that we do focus on the first part, utilize ICT, information communication technologies. And somewhere down the line, we tend to ignore the other two parts. The other two parts says, increase the life quality and provide sustainable development. You might counter me on this dais. You might say, नहीं ma'am, हमारी जो initiative है वो बहुत ही quality of life को improve करेगी. I'm sure Maheshwari ji will say solid waste management से energy बना रहे हैं and all that stuff. But I'll just ask you to think again. The moment we think of the word smart cities, what do we start thinking? We start thinking of technology and its applications. And when we think of technologies, this is the kind of mind process which happens. I'll be very honest to you. The presentation I had made to come here was actually this total presentation. It was everything to do with IoT, it was everything to do with GIS, and when I was sitting here, I found my predecessors have already covered it. So I decided to be a little different. I said, no, as an academic, I have to say what has not been said. So using ICT for public service delivery, if we just focus at technology, we make this mistake of putting E in front of whatever is the public service delivery domain. We have e-medicine, we have e-education, we have e-libraries, whatnot and whatnot. You just look at this thing. But if we think of application of technology later, and we think of the reason we are using this E, and then I'll give you an example. Let's say we say mobility is one thing we want. And the moment I think of mobility, I come up with the word mobile phone. And I was discussing with my researchers and I said, no, why can't we think of mobile vans? Because mobile phones, please don't forget Indian context. Indian context, Patel Saab said 70% of us are still in villages. How many of us own smartphones? You say we're talking about smart cities, but we're talking of the same kind of people to come to cities. The reason we are making them smart is we want this kind of balancing of population to happen across the cities. So the buying power of the people remain almost the same, irrespective of the zones they belong to. So this is my thought process, and I want you to again think like this. Don't think of technology as the starting point. Let's think of citizens as the start point. When you would think of citizens as start point, you'll think of yourself. You'll think of the problems you are facing. So for service delivery, I've just created it here. People who were sitting next to me saw me creating all this right here. So when you think of citizens as the start point and you think of public service delivery, then you have to have very simple litmus tests to check whether your public service delivery in the new model of smart city is working or not. So I've just picked up 3 filters. Filters were being discussed by Ujjwal also, but my filters are very generic filters to make sure that public service delivery is A+. We should plan our citizens to be happy. For that, Patel Saab said, character of the city has to be looked into. I call it as soul of the city is to be looked into. Then design them to be inclusive. I was very glad when Ujjwal mentioned about toilets, and he mentioned about toilets with constant reference to women and disabled. So this is how a public service domain has to be thought about in terms of users not who are elite, but users who are actually constrained. And then I believe in localism a lot, though I belong to a place which is not at all local in its flavor. Though I probably have a background which is kind of not very local. But I always say, if you're globally competitive and grounded, your technology and your innovation will always have better repercussions. Maheshwari ji said, he said, we didn't buy Japanese concept, we didn't buy Korean concept, we Indianized the whole concept. So this is what India needs to have smarter cities. So if you look at these 3 things, I'll just explain them hurriedly. How much time you give me? 7 minutes now? Thank you. Don't look at my face. Give me the real time. Okay. Okay. So keeping in mind these 3 checks, when you plan for a happy city, you should never forget the DNA of the city. You go to Madras, Chaurahas are such a beautiful soul of that particular area. You come to Punjab, you have colors as the basic soul of the area. And that is why Chandigarh can never be Punjab. I mean, please let me say that. So you have to look at the flavor of, you go to Varanasi, you have a different soul and a different DNA emanated to you. You come to Delhi, you have 8 cities talking to you in different forms and different gins. So the soul and DNA of the city is to be preserved for the city to become really habitable place and a happy place to be in. I don't want to leave a city in a beautiful car and then grumble throughout the way because it's polluted, because it's constrained, constricted, and stuff like that. So that's just one parameter to look at the city. The whole ecosystem should be retained. So very theoretical if you look at it, but very practical if you start taking any of the checks as the start point. While planning for a city, maybe a retrofitted city, maybe a vanilla green city, maybe corridors which we are planning, we should always balance the infrastructure constraints or the infrastructure provisions, which I call as the yang, the tangible part, with the yin of the place. The yin is the soft part. The DNA structure should be a balance of feminine energies and masculine energies. So we shouldn't just focus on technology or infrastructure. We should also look at the other aspects beyond that. Green is something which I find constantly being referred but not being followed. Coming to inclusiveness. So when you think of inclusiveness, somebody in the previous session talked about digital divide, very cursory reference. How much of us really know about digital divide? Digital divide has a gender divide, digital divide has a disabled divide, digital divide has a spatial divide, and so on and so forth. So whenever we think of public service delivery, we should look at all the secluded silo communities which have to be responded to make sure that it's a wholesome public service delivery we are providing to our citizens. So I was just thinking, what are the kind of communities which we tend to ignore and we should not? And the list is exhaustive. I leave it to you to keep on increasing on this list. And whenever you think of an application, check it on these parameters. Whether this particular application is disabled friendly, whether this particular application is going to be women friendly and stuff like that. There's so many communities I'm deliberately not referring, but I've listed them very specifically. So this is my second point. Now coming to the third point from what Maheshwari ji said is indigenization. The indigenous aspect of any technology is to be looked into, keeping in mind what were the real problems and what are the available solutions and how to go local on it. Localism or local governance is here to stay. We're not talking about decentralization. We are not talking about states and center federal structures. We're talking of something more informal which India has always been giving and has followed for governance. I'm talking of self-help groups. I'm talking of resident welfare associations. I'm talking of community groups. I'm talking of a labor union. I'm talking of all these local communities which can come together and do a marvelous job of making sure that systems work. And for doing that, we have to institutionalize what is available. I went to a particular state in my country, if I could say it was Raichur in Bangalore, Karnataka, Bangalore, Raichur I went, and there I found that the middleman was the person addressing maximum governance issues in those areas. And that was the first time and the last time in my life that I ever called a middleman as a wrong entity in my value chain. And the first time I started respecting a middleman as a people's person. He knows किसके घर में कैटल मरी है, he knows किसकी लड़की भाग गई है, he knows किसके बाप को दमा हुआ है, he knows कौन कितने पैसे किस तरह देता है. These are the kind of outreach these people have. So why can't we mainstream them while designing new models? This is just one example. This is a very debatable topic. I don't want to open a Pandora box for you and keep debating on just middleman. I just want you to think of what is working at the grassroots and how to mainstream it without looking at public-private partnership as the only option or the model available to me. Public-private partnership is in fact full of bees which can sting to death. There are privacy concerns, there are security concerns, there are wrap up the project and run concerns, there are L1 concerns. You bid low, you get a contract, and then you disappear. There's so much other aspects. I'm not saying public partners are not to be trusted. But what I'm saying is local models are equally valid. I won't read through the thing because these are my ideas. I just want you to look at them again. Last but not the least, sir talked about public participation. Participation of public is an academic jargon. Don't forget Indian context. In Indian context, we don't have time, we don't have money, we don't have inclination, we don't have abilities, we don't have access. When I say we, I'm referring to 70% of the citizens. Maybe in slums, in rural areas or urban areas, maybe in terms of overhyped, overbusy elite people or whatever. So awareness is something which needs to be percolated down to our psyche to make sure all of us know what is happening. And all of us have inclination to participate well. So again, my researcher said, ma'am, वैसे कैसे होगा, awareness कैसे होगी, वो मन की बात और ये सब तो TV पे आई जाता है, radio पे आई जाता है. I said, no. If I walk into a city, I should have some Suchna Kendra available to me on fingertips where I go irrespective of my language, my cost, or I should have a mobile app which can tell me anything about that city. For me, that is a smart city. I should have a group of people who are aware, who are available. I'm sure seniors and adults like Patel Saab are always willing to be philanthropic. So we should have a kind of Jagruk Nagrik Manch of these people who are willing to support the development of the city. And so many other options. Why do I need to think of mobile apps? I better use mobile vans and create them as common service centers which are able to deliver services at the 4 steps. I mean, the doorsteps don't have to be just only through technology. There are so many other models available. I believe a lot on community radios and stuff like that. So the whole idea boils down to a smart city, which is inclusive in nature, which provides what we need in a manner we need, in a language it needs, and is non-intrusive and yet inclusive. That's what I think a smart city should be, and we need to work together for that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Charu, for sharing your experiences from around the nation, various states you have been to, and sharing all those experiences and acknowledging those experiences here. Thank you very much. And now we end with this session, and I request Shri N.V. Patel, Chairman of Vadodara Urban Development Authority, to kindly present mementos to our two eminent and very dynamic speakers of the day. I request Mr. Patel to kindly present mementos to our fellow speakers. To start with Dr. Charu Malhotra, Associate Professor at Indian Institute of Public Administration. And a young and dynamic officer, Mr. Vipul Ujwal, Commissioner of Moga Municipal Corporation. I request Ma'am Charu to please present a memento to Mr. Patel from Vadodara Urban Development Authority. He is a chairman of VUDA. I request three of you to please come forward for a group photo with your mementos, sir, if possible. If you can come forward, that will be fine. And now the next session will be, after that we will have a tea break of 15 minutes. That will be in Inspire Hall.